Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Is it Valerie?
no.
Oh, man. Oh, there you go. That's fine. I know, right?
Okay, so thanks for coming. I'm going to start my presentation with a fun experiment, actually. So I'm going to ask all of you to please stand up and participate in this experiment. Thank you. Wow, okay. I didn't expect everyone to stand up, but okay. So pretend I have $50, a small reward of $50 and a large reward of $1,000 to give each of you. I'm that rich. So now I'm going to ask you, would you rather have $50 today or $1,000 in 1 week? If you would choose $1,000 in 1 week, remain standing. Okay, now let's say I ask you, would you rather have $50 today or $1,000 in 6 months? Remain standing if you would still choose $1,000 in 6 months. Okay. Now let's say I ask you $50 today or $1,000 in 5 years. Will you still, yeah, that's what I thought. So, you guys just realized that $1,000 is not as valuable if you have to wait 5 years to get it. You all just participated in the delayed discounting experiment. Thank you, sit down, thank you. Now, what is delayed discounting? It is the decrease in the value of a reward due to delay to its receipt. So if you look at this graph, you guys just did this. As the delay to getting $1,000 increases, you guys can see that the value decreases. That's why you all sat down when I said 5 years. Delayed discounting is the weakening of consequences as a result of delays. Delayed consequences have a lesser impact on current behavior, and we all know this, than immediate consequences. We as humans do not value delayed consequences. We just don't. Now, you're probably asking yourself, why haven't I heard about delayed discounting? Well, that's because it's a relatively new area of research and behavior analysis. It has roots in behavioral economics. For those of you who are not familiar, it's the merging of economics with the field of psychology, or the analysis of behavior. Now, how do we assess delayed discounting? Y'all just help me do this. You use a delayed discounting task where you ask the participant, would you rather have a small amount of money now, or a smaller immediate reward now versus a larger delayed reward after some time? With animals, which I actually did way back, the choice is between a small amount of food now versus a large amount of food after a delay. So for example, this pigeon, by pecking a key, is choosing between 1 piece of grain now versus several pieces 10 seconds later. With children, it's a bit different. So we would say, would you rather have 30 seconds of game time now or 60 seconds, but you have to wait 25 seconds? So again, the smaller reward now versus the larger reward after a delay. Now, with adults or older children, we use money typically as a reward. So they're not actually getting that reward. And we say, okay, would you rather have $20 today or $100 in 7 days? And then we keep asking these questions over and over, and we increase the delay, just like I did with all you guys. But this happens over several trials. And then what we're looking for is a discounting curve. What you're looking for is, at what point is the individual saying, I'm not going to wait this long anymore. I'm going to switch from the larger reward to the immediate reward. So that is what we call discounting. You're discounting that reward. Now, what exactly did I measure when I did this experiment? I measured impulsivity, which is defined as a tendency to choose smaller immediate rewards over larger delayed rewards. So all of you who sat down about 6 months, you guys are impulsive pretty much. I also measured the opposite, which is self-control. So all of you, none of you really, who stayed up at the 5-year delay would be labeled as having self-control. Now, well, then you have a lot of self-control. Makes sense. So how is all of this relevant to us as practitioners? Well, think about it. A lot of socially important behaviors have impulsivity associated to them. For example, ADHD, texting and driving, substance abuse, impulse control disorders such as stealing forks from restaurants. All of those have impulsivity associated with them. Now think about it. This is important because if you think about it, all behavior is choice behavior. You guys are here now. You chose to be here over an alternative. Whatever the reward is, I don't know, but this is what you chose. An example of this is, would I rather study or go party? So these types of choices are what we're faced with. Now, it's important to understand delayed discounting because with an understanding of it, we can assess impulsive behavior. I actually ran a study with my colleague, thank you, Lena, where we studied impulsivity in young children and preschoolers, and what we found is as the delay to getting the large amount of food increased, they switched to the smaller amount of food. Now, this has serious implications for practitioners because we can design interventions such as delay tolerance to decrease impulsivity in the sense that you're increasing the delay of reinforcement, and that you're training them to tolerate that delay. Contingency management is also derived from delayed discounting in that you're reinforcing abstinence from drugs. And so that is actually derived from delayed discounting, and it's commonly used in substance abuse programs. So in a nutshell, which this is really hard, delayed discounting examines the effects of delays and reward value. It assesses choice behavior or preference. It is a behavior analytic, I think the only one unbiased, the only behavior analytic measure of impulsivity and self-control, and it has implications in the assessment and treatment of impulsive behavior. Thank you.